Hello, I'm doing a recap of episode 6 of The Reason I Can't Find My Love. It started off um, good. Fuji and Taki, they were working out together, and there's this battle thing he does, and you can tell he gets a vibe. You get the vibe that he doesn't like that you and her used to go out, and that was his way of saying it, even though I don't think she caught on to it. And he was like, if I win this, win first place, can I be your number one? And she was like, yeah. And she said, okay. So she goes to his, and this is going on through spans of days. And so she goes to his match. But when she gets a match, she gets a call saying that you is drunk. Can you check on him? And she wasn't going to, but she does anyway. And before I say that, the reason why you was drunk is because he finally did go back to the hospital. Hikari, his fiance, well, no, ex-fiance, she hasn't been showing into work, and um, um, he went to the hospital to give the dad the flowers, and this doctor comes and let me talk to you, and basically he was just like, look, I can make Hikari happy, and it was just such a sad scene. So this is why um you was drunk. So she gets there and they have their talk, and you could tell she wanted to admit that she did want Fuji. I mean, Fuji did want you and Hikari to work out so she could move on. But she didn't exactly finish her sentence, so he didn't really get to hear her say that. She just told him that I wanted you and Hikari to be happy together. And it was just so sad. Um, and he's drunk, and they end up falling asleep on each other, which not like on each other, but with their heads to the side together, and I mean, you go like, oh, if you see them, and come to find out, Taki didn't win. He didn't win first place. He won second place, and when Fuji was busy hurrying up leaving the match, he left. I did say he did win second place. He did, and her keys dropped to her house. So oh yeah, and she got to meet his sister at the match, and he went to go get her keys back, and he opened it. Well, he knocked and said, it's Emmy in here, which is Fuji, and he opens the door, and there, from the back, the head, well, even in the front, he sit together, so he just drops off the key nicely, and walks out there and wakes her up. So the next day she wakes up and she sees the keys there. And I guess she realized, she left them, remembers that they fell on her lap the day before. Well, yesterday. And she went to go tell him thanks and whatnot because she saw him, I guess, on her way to work, I guess. I don't know. They just, met. And he was like, I can't be your number one, can't I? He was like, use your number one. He said, we should break up. And that was just wow. So that's where Fuji is at right now. Saki, the hostess. Her and Shiratashi needs to stop hanging out with each other. He don't think it's cheating, but if it was not cheating, why didn't you tell your wife that you knew her instead of both of y'all playing off that y'all did not know each other? And they was at a batting cage, and they come home. So Saki's worried about that. She's worried about, or is he cheating? And one day he went, the day after the Batcave, he had went home and come here. I'm talking about spans of days. Masusu asked if he could go to the doctor. Her OB doctor wanted him to come in because she's been tested out. She's been fine. He wasn't going to, but he did. And he comes to find out that he's going to be the problem of them not having kids, and that brought him down. So when Saki was at work one day, he was there and he was like, let's sleep with each other, and she was like, what? And he's like, you won't get pregnant. And that's when he said that he can't have kids and he can't fulfill Masusu's dream because she wants kids. And so they're back at that place where they watch the sunset go up, and she was like, well, before that happened, it goes to Misusu, and bam, something breaks into pieces. And I felt like right as he said, as soon as he said that he couldn't film Misusu fulfill her dream of having kids, and Saki look at him, it goes straight to her, and the cup fell and it breaks. And I feel like that was a symbol of their marriage falling apart, which is sad because she had her table all set up for food. And the reason why I mention this is because they're at their place, Saki and Shibatashi, and she was like, let's sit here until, remember you told me that if you watch the sun come up, you forget all your problems. So that is what they, do, and I just feel it's just sad on their part. Okay, Mako, poor her, I don't like her, Kasaki, not Yamamoto, I do not like her boo. Like again, he invited her back to her place. I mean, to his place, and tell me why she wore clothes 3 days in a row back to work. Because when she said I didn't bring a change in the clothes, he was like, "Can't you just go to a convenience store?" But she basically just, when she wore clothes three, I'm like, wow. So and there was a one point where Kasaki, the dude at the beginning of the drama, where he started talking to her about work, talking about her at work because she didn't sleep with him, and he had to talk to her about her contract. And anyway, there was a point where there was Mako and Yamamoto was walking, and her roommate suggested that, like, you need to bring it up about the problem that I'm about to say. And she's like, how about let's go to a late movie? He's like, oh, we can bring the DVD back to my home. He said, don't you have fun hanging out at home? And she's like, well, he's like, what's the problem? She said, it hurts when when they get it on. And he basically took it as, you don't like me. And she said, no, that's not it. And he was like, I saw you talking to Kasaki, you look so happy. And he just walked off. And she was like, no, she said, I will take the pain. She's trying to tell him that, her body, and something that she could work to, and he just took it all wrong. And he was like, oh, I really like you. He said, we're over. And he left her crying, and it was so sad. And then one of the days she goes to work, and everyone's looking at her all kind of funny, and she goes, and her boss, basically the manager, talks to her and was like, can you leave at the end of the month? And she was like, what? He said that it would just be better on us if you can leave, because it will cause problems. And he said it's best anyway because you're getting a reputation that you've been involved with several men. And she said that's not true. And I don't know if anything else happened after that, but basically she got to leave her job at the end of the month, even though she had, I guess, to the next year to work there. And that is all that happened. It was a good episode. Just all kind of stuff all kind of crazy stuff just happened. But yeah, it was a good episode. Bye.